The one, the only, Tacoma's biggest, baddest Stephen Rine here.
Hello, my name is Nick Cody. My handle, you can find me on Instagram or all social media, is Nick R. Cody.
Rachel and Richie Affleje here. Pronounced correctly and spelled correctly. That's right.
My name is Angelo Lazarte. I go by ThatCasualGuy23 on Instagram.
I want to get into normal stance, you can. I don't know. Or if you want to commit to the squat, that was a long time. I was like, that'd be a long time in such a power stance.
I want my power back. All right, I'm taking it back.
I'm Robert Penner. I'm on Instagram as Robert Penner, at Robert Penner.
My name is Peter Artman. I'm a comic here in Seattle. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, at PeteTorius.
My name is Briena Woodward, and my Instagram is at NotADamnCheese.
My name is Derek Hogan, and you can find me as Derek Hogan on Facebook. That's pretty much it right now.
Do you have a comedy Instagram?
Not yet.
You should get one. I tell everybody they need to get one.
My name is Rine Padilla. You can find me at Rolling Blunder Comedy. That's like Rolling Thunder, but a blunder, which is what I am.
I'm Bob F.
Al Christakis on that. Al Christakis on Instagram.
Stephen Michael James, Stephen MJ Comedy on Instagram. I've been doing comedy now for about 7 months.
Doing comedy 7 years later in the month, so almost 7.
A year and a half.
I've been on and off comedy for around 5 years.
I started right before Christmas last year, so about 2 years.
4 years.
Almost a year and a half.
I have been doing comedy for about 7, 8 years.
A year before you.
8, 9.
3 years in June.
Consistently more for about a month or so.
I've been doing comedy for almost 2 years now, about a little over a year and a half. Every night I get to go out and do it to a great crowd.
Opening feature for my wife, Ed. And Nick's Comedy. I've had other good nights, but that was great.
Laughs, like about a month ago, 3-minute set, like killed on somewhat newer material.
Just an accumulation the past like 4 weeks.
With my beautiful husband feature for me. No, I'm not gonna get there. Stupid. Just kidding. That was very cute. Probably either hosting for Sam Talent or when Doug Stanhope showed up at my bar show. Yeah.
That's a good night. That is a fucking good night.
Last week up at Club Comedy, where I just had a great set, and I just, had felt that first, like, really hard, crisp snap of the crowd all together. It was such an amazing feeling.
My second week doing comedy, I got my first showcase. It was a really good crowd, and they really wanted that.
7 Pub in Renton for the first time. It was running a little bit late, wasn't on time because of the game. And then I went up because there was a giant crowd there and had a great set, and that kick-started this whole thing.
A couple that are right up there. Like, I have like some like objectively best and then some like emotional, sentimental best. Objectively best, if I think of the biggest crowd I've ever had, it was opening for Tim Meadows, 700 people in Olympia. It was crazy. It was such a good show. About sentimental, there's 2. I opened for Greg Proops at Tacoma Comedy Club. And I watched him growing up on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and I met him and he just was great. He was everything I wanted him to be. He was like an ally and like very, very aligned with what I believe in. The second one was Alonzo Bowden, and I opened for him and my mom was able to come to that show, and it was the last show she saw me do before she passed away, and he like very much aligned with what she believed in. He came into the green room and was like, I saw this bumper sticker and it was so funny, and it was my mom's bumper sticker. He was reading to me. He was like, what did he say? We failed. The Republicans have the ring or whatever. It was the Lord of the Rings joke. It was on my mom's car, and he came in and he like the first thing he said to us was like, I saw this bumper sticker. It was like, that's my mom. And I like specifically asked my mom to be there. He like fought with Doris at the door over my maiden name versus my married name. That was like one of my favorite comedy members ever.
When I did with other Filipino comedians, I did that up in Seattle a while back. I think it was like near Halloween. Last week I did my first produced show. A lot of pressures with that, and I was waiting for the hiccup to happen where something went awry. But besides like a few, you know, locals in the back being a little loud, it went great. And got to pay the comics, and you know, that's basically the number one thing I was just promising to do.
One specific night, and then a weekend, a club weekend. One night was a headliner show up in Bellingham called Afterglow.
I love that.
And it seemed like every sentence that came out of my mouth, the whole place was erupting with laughter every time. Felt like an athlete being in the zone in the moment that I came to, and at the moment my favorite place, really taking what's happening, like I was killing so hard, my leg was shaking. It was a weird experience growing up, and I think we clicked pretty well. He was a cool, good hang, and he gifted me one of his specials on vinyl at the end of the weekend, because I told him we had a record player.
Probably my first one when I gave a legendary joke that had been brewing for months.
Telling jokes to like 3 people at like Hannah's in Olympia.
Probably doing comedy on a bus. It was a fucking nightmare. So it's gonna be like a comedy bus. You're gonna
Like a city bus, or is it like a
I wish it was a city bus. It'd probably be a little bit more fucking soundproof, but like come on this rickety ass bus that has fucking park benches screwed into it, or whatever the fuck they replaced the seats with. You were supposed to like perform to these people who have like already been drinking, go into a brewery to drink more. They're drinking on the but like
to a bar show on wheels?
it was like a,
It was
yeah,
a bar show on wheels.
Yeah, like they don't want to hear it. Yes, and when you're done bombing in front of these people who fucking hate you, guess what you gotta do? Sit at the front of the bus where they're all just looking at you like, yeah. Like it was, they told us do 30. The bus is only gonna be like a 20-minute ride, so like, but just in case red lights, do 30. The fucking bus driver kept taking a wrong turn, and like, so that 30 turned into, it was a fucking nightmare.
My life actually for the night. It's my first time trying actually new stuff here at Names, and it didn't go over well.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I think I did Nate Jackson's Funniest Motherfucker competition, and I thought to myself, I thought this was humbling. It wasn't the best.
The one and only time I did a set at this place called the Underbelly in Pioneer Square. It was probably my 3rd or 4th time ever doing comedy. It was the worst silence 3 minutes that anyone's ever had.
Variety show in Providence, and nobody else did comedy. There was like drag, and then there was supposed to be me, and instead of doing like drag to me, there was a long plug for a charity about sexual assault, and then they're like, do 20 minutes now, and I'm like, oh great, well, donate to that charity. I'm making myself like hard, because this is not, I don't feel very funny. Probably that.
Is that the night that our shit got stolen too?
Then somebody broke into our car and stole speakers from us. So.
Like $1,000 set.
Every night I have to go out with Stephen Michael James and not have a good crowd.
Probably last week when I didn't have like a full set going, and I just kind of winged it.
Kermit Appeal, you know that guy?
Yes.
He recommended me for a show. I can't remember where it was because like my trauma brain blocked it out. Some island in Seattle that has a lot of Jewish people on it, respectfully. I think a Hanukkah event. And Kermit booked me because my act is like fairly clean. It's not clean, but it's like fairly clean. And he booked me to do it. It was over 100 people. It was a packed show. I was opening for this woman. She had me like list all the content of my jokes and told me like don't talk about makeup because I'm gonna talk about makeup. Like it was like she was like very specific about it. I went up in front of 100 people, and for 10 minutes I just ate it. Just fucking ate it. Not a single soul in the room was laughing for 10 minutes while I was opening for this woman. And then she went out the last night of Hanukkah. It was like a Hanukkah. They'd spent all week like doing this Hanukkah thing. This comedy event was like the finale of their Hanukkah. I am not Jewish, okay? I was talking about mooning Richie. I was talking about like having a master's degree. They were like, what the fuck does this have to do with Hanukkah? And they were so upset. Granted, married through it, and then the headliner crushed, of course, and I left before anyone could see me. And then then I got an email from the booker like a week later after she hadn't paid me yet. She was like, just so you know, I thought you were funny. Fucking cool. And then I was mortified because Kermit recommended me for the gig, and then I fucking ate it. I love Kermit. And Kermit luckily still works for me to this day.
A rough night at Shanghai, right? Which I love, but you know, the slogan, nobody bombs at the Shanghai, they put that to the test sometimes.
Probably my worst set ever at the local 907, which if you know the local 907 can be brutal. And I remember it was just a flatline set where just 0 laughs. I usually get 1, some pity, whatever. I mean, we all kind of had those as common. But this one was a straight flatline set where you kind of learn that you have to acknowledge you're doing bad and then you kind of get them back on your side. But in this case, I just kept going. I was like, all right, joke's done. That was terrible. Let me just go on the next one. I'll get them. And there was like 3 jokes in. And this one girl, when it's all flat and silent, she just slow claps, just some small slow clap. I was like, please don't do this. Like this, that's not helping, miss. This is terrible. And yeah, that was the worst time. Amani was like, he said some small little joke, and he goes, see, Peter, it wasn't the audience. He said that at the end. Shout out to Amani Taylor, but that was the worst bad comedy ever.
At a little pizza shop in DuPont with me, Jess Anderson, Patricio Mendoza, my girlfriend. That's about it. Yeah. That was all the people in the pizza shop. Plus all the employees in the back that were waiting for us to finish so they could go home.
Mine was a little place in Lakewood called the Blue Note Lounge that a good friend Ken Hamlet booked me for. It's an urban room.
What does that mean?
It was a mostly black room.
Uncode your language,
I just wasn't their cup of tea. I didn't have the skill set to do well in a room like that yet. It was just a 7-minute set, but towards the end, as I was about to get into my closer, a lady from the back of the room said, oh, he's trying. I still have nightmares about it to this day. And wrote to me after because he was hosting, of course. But we're still good friends. And we talked about that and laughed about it a lot. That's my worst.
Featuring for clubs and hosting for clubs. I did host and feature for local stuff last year. My goal was the same goals, but for like actual clubs.
See if I can be my own booker.
Write more jokes, headline, more things. It's the same shit everybody's trying to do, I guess. Nothing special.
Better navigating like social media and promotions and stuff like that, because I do produce a show called It's Okay, You Can Laugh, and it's been doing great, but I'm not great at promoting and like advertising, so I'd like to get a lot better at that, and just grinding out, getting better, grinding.
I would really like to get booked on shows. I would really like people to know that I am funny and I'm a good dude. You might just surprise yourself by getting to know me a little bit.
Try and produce 2 shows every month.
To get on an airplane more. I want to get on an airplane. I want to go do comedy. I want to be paid to go somewhere and have a hotel room that's paid for, and like go somewhere, like have a little like quote unquote vacation and perform comedy. That was my goal.
Just get funnier.
Keep doing shows. I've been doing really good with the opener host element, so it'd be good to be recognized as a feature, but I'm pretty patient. I'm ready to just, more and more books, gigs booked, just keep grinding away.
I'm just trying to not necessarily be a big shot, but like do something that's just like they invite me to do instead of like just come on my own rights.
Just get funnier, get better, put myself out there, do the damn thing.
Headline more, keep working on my stuff. Keep writing funny jokes.
Scheduling so I can do stuff too, with keeping in mind that we have a child.
Don't be afraid to bomb.
Try not to focus on the things that don't matter.
Don't be afraid to bomb.
Think of the big head, not the little one.
Don't worry about it. You're gonna suck. You're gonna have fun.
I'm fucking perfect, so I did everything correctly. I made 0 mistakes. Okay, so your confidence is perfect. Branch out more, because like I had the means to travel, so I wish I started traveling more a little bit sooner, even though I feel like we traveled pretty fucking soon. Like 2 years in, let's get but yeah, I guess that.
Chill on emotions, just try to enjoy it and try to be creative.
least audio of every set, because when you come back later, you're doing other shows and you want to go back and you want to hear how things went, like at least having audio is so easy to do. You should do it. It's a good way to track your time. Record audio of every set. That is my advice. I got it from Luke Severin. I will say it with my fucking chest out, even though he's not my favorite person. Best advice I got, and it is true to this day. Record every set. Audio. At least audio. Come on.
My parent works at Foot Locker, so that's cool. Get a better day job, dude. I'm like, I'm funny enough to be fine. No, it's never gonna be fine.
I wish I would have done this sooner, but I know it was the right timing. Quit being a bitch and get funnier.
Start earlier, so I actually did. So I was in radio before comedy, but actually when I was 19, I did my first. And at the time, I knew nothing. And, I was, the 30-year-olds talking about marriage, talking about kids. So I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about. Like, it just made no sense of what I was even saying on stage. But I wish I just kind of went, okay, this sucks now, but it's only gonna get better. So if you ever even think about doing it, you should really just support the idea of going on stage. A lot of times, some nights like this, where there's not many people out here, it's really low stakes. It's like there's a lot of strangers, you'll never see them again. When you have that thought of doing it, you should try to pounce on it. It's like going to the gym, 80% showing up.
Mine is don't get complacent about getting booked, proactive about reaching out to bookers and finding out who they are. It's still something that I need to follow to this day, so I'm telling it to my present self too. There's gonna be highs and lows. Don't get too high because comedy will help you real quick. Don't get too low because your next set gets shows just right around the corner. Just keep your head up. I know it's hard because you have a big head, but
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Be patient, and I continue to be patient and always trust in yourself and the people around you.
We produce a show at the Spanish Ballroom in Tacoma called The Laughing Elk. It's monthly, second Wednesday of every month.
Check out Get Sabin Comedy on Facebook. Clown People Podcast. Award-winning.
I have a YouTube channel as well, and then I also have a Twitter, but I'm more active in there as well.
We have a podcast that we are very inconsistent with called Traumatizing Captain.
Clown People Podcast. It's award-winning, and Doug did a video with us about it. So look on my Instagram. I'll probably never unpin that post. My best moment. But yeah, that's it.
That's about it. Those are my socials. @Petorius on Instagram, Peter Artman on Facebook. I make memes. I make my own content, little funny clips and stuff like that. So yeah, follow along.
Don't know if it'll be in time, but my show on March 5th, It's Okay You Can Laugh. It's going to be the second show in the series. I'm going to be hosting. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, just also it's going to be a recurring thing. So it showcases disabled comics. So if there's any disabled comics that want to get on a stage, it's a perfect venue for that. So, It's Okay You Can Laugh at Rolling London Comedy.
Comedy Code Breakers on March 16th. I don't know when this is going to air, but happening at the Shanghai Room, Seattle. I'll be there.
We're here at Super Funny every Tuesday since we open. And this is where the sausage gets made. So it's different from weekend shows, but I think in some way it's even better because you never know what you're going to do. Especially with things showing up and you're going to stay here till midnight.
Which is rude. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your wife, tell your kids, tell everybody. It's super fun.
Thank you.